regions, including product recalls and seizures, prosecutions, awareness campaigns, and rehabilitation of victims. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, what's your point of order? KJ? Give him to.
Honorable Speaker, I thank you. And I am standing, Mr. Speaker, I am standing in relation to our standing orders, and I needed for you to pronounce yourself in the House on a matter that is very clearly on our standing orders that has to do with the prohibition of party symbols and party insignia in Parliament, Mr. Speaker. Knowing full well that if there was only one member showing up in a certain color in the House, then we would have taken it to be the member's wardrobe. However, we are seeing a gang of 13 members of Parliament, Mr. Speaker, who are donning party insignia on the floor of the House, Mr. Speaker. And I would not want to take it away from them because, Mr. Speaker, the young gentleman who has joined the House won convincingly in his constituency, and we would like to welcome him to Bunge and let him know that there are standing orders that guide how the members ought to present themselves in the House. And 13 members of Parliament are a minority, are a sure minority in this House, that there is nothing they would come to tell people who are standing in their numbers, in their majority, Mr. Speaker. You ought to look at yourselves and see that there is only 13 of you up against hundreds of members of Parliament, and you're totally out of order. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order, Honorable KJ. Order, Kimilu. Order. I have yet. Hello. Order. Members, take your seats. Kawanjiku. Mheshimiwa. Order, honorable members. Order, honorable members. Order, KJ. Order, KJ. Don't let the excitement overrule you. Honorable members, it is true what you are saying, but I am not aware the colors that the few members are wearing. Order. Order, members. If the Speaker will be subsequently convinced that what you are wearing are party insignia or colors, then we will tell you that they are out of order. But for today, because we have a president, when Honorable Kawanjiku won his elections, even Honorable KJ came to this chamber wearing party colors. And it was allowed because it was a special occasion for the House. From today onwards, unless it's such a special occasion, we do not entertain party uniforms in the House. And you know that is part of our standing orders. But as I said, it is possible that members can all come wearing black suits, can all come wearing yellow suits, but the moment you turn them into party symbols and party agitation in the House, you will be ruled out of order. Order, Honorable Mureu. Order. As a senior lawyer, I'm sure you know your standing orders. So, go on. Order, Honorable Kagusha's statement will be, is Ngogoyo here? Sorry, Tongoyo?
Yeah, Honorable Speaker.
When can you respond?
Before us, that kind of a question may concern several agencies. Allow me to respond within 3 weeks, Honorable Speaker.
3 weeks?
Yes, please.
Order, Honorable Kagusha, you'll get a response in 3 weeks. member? Is a member in the House? Go ahead.
Speaker, in response sought by Honorable Talib regarding the enforcement of the night to dawn, and the member wanted in particular to know and protect the very members of the Swappers Party.
Order, members.
So the member in particular to know the reason to don't curfew in Lamu despite the court order issued on the 21st May, and a report on the number of infected or detained in Lamu County during the curfew.
Yes, Honorable McClap, what? Give him the mic. The mic, McClap. Next to you. Order.
Mr. Speaker, protect can hear this very important information from the same members themselves from this side, and in some few minutes they converge together, Mr. Speaker. Protect us so that we can hear this very important information, Mr. Speaker.
Go on. Tongoyo. Go on.
So I will pick from where I left, Honorable Speaker. The member wanted to know the disciplinary and administrative measures being taken against the police officers alleged to have enforced the curfew contrary to the court orders, and the action being taken in compliance with the court order. And I respond as follows. The ministry, to clarify, the government has not acted in the High Court order issued on the 20th, and I underline, Honorable, which suspended the enforcement of curfew in Lamu and specified the court order only suspended enforcement of the curfew. It did not restrain the national security agencies from undertaking the lawful security, including the patrol, intelligence gathering, surveillance, inspection, identification checks, other counter-terrorism innovation necessary for the maintenance of the public order and the national security. The security station in South threat terrorist groups, particularly Al-Shabaab, to explore characteristic of the area to facilitate movement, recruitment, and the commission act. Consequently, security agencies have continued to implement led and targeted security operation aimed at preventing terrorist activities, disrupting criminal networks, safeguarding residents, visitors, and critical national infrastructure. These measures are undertaken pursuant to the Constitution to maintain law and order, preserve public safety and security, prevent and deter criminal, and protect life and property. The ministry emphasizes that these lawful security interventions do not constitute a curfew, nor do they amount to its reintroduction in any form. Members of the public remain free to subject only to reasonable security screening and verification procedures undertaken in the interest of the public safety. Accordingly, Mr. Speaker, the continued establishment of roadblocks and the security screening measures should not be construed as a violation of the court order, but a legitimate policing intervention aimed at countering terrorism and ensuring safety and the security of all persons within the affected areas. Honorable Speaker, regarding the individuals ever arrested or detained, I want to respond as follows. The ministry confirmed that no person has been arrested or detained in relation to the enforcement of the suspended curfew since the court order of the 21st May. On the last part, Honorable Speaker, the Ministry confirmed that no police officer has been found to have violated the court order. Officers deployed within the affected areas continue to undertake lawful policing duties under the supervision of their respective commandants and within the scope of law. Accordingly, no disciplinary or administrative action has arisen in relation to the alleged enforcement of the suspended curfew. The Ministry confirmed that the Police National Service is fully compliant with the court order and that no curfew is currently in force within Lamu County. I repeat, Honorable Speaker, currently there is no curfew currently in force within Lamu County. And to ensure continued compliance with the court directive, the NPS has undertaken the following measures. I think those are general. I think I've already mentioned those, Honorable Speaker. And the Ministry remains fully committed to upholding the rule of law, respecting court decisions, ensuring that all security operations are conducted within constitutional and applicable laws, within protecting the lives, property, security of all residents of Lamu County. Signed by Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, EGH, Secretary for Internal and National Administration. I submit, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Taib. Give him the mic.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I find that response from very misleading, as they still the enforcement of curfew is still in place. So I don't know what answer is giving regarding to there is no curfew in Lamu. Thank you.
Taib, can you repeat what you said?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. What I'm saying is, I think Honorable Chairman is misleading this House. There is curfew in place in Lamu. They are all over roadblocks, all the way from Isoe all the way to Mpeketoni. So I really don't understand when he says there is no curfew enforcement and there are no roadblocks on the road to Lamu. Thank you.
Yes. Honorable Member for Garsen.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Speaker, I think the Chair of Security is misleading. You know that roadblock starts from my constituency. That is an economic sabotage. Chair, to sabotage the people of Lamu and Tana River. So the government has security and machineries. That roadblock should be removed to help the people of Tana River and Lamu, Chair. Mr. Speaker.
Tongoyo. Tongoyo.
Honorable Speaker, I still want to confirm to the House and to the member that as read out, there is no curfew in place in Lamu. And we should not confuse security operations and screening and roadblock to mean curfew, Honorable Speaker. So that is a statement, and that remains so. And I will also want to really call upon my colleagues to appreciate the security situation in Lamu, which has been in a big extent been achieved because of the security checks in place, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Roida. Order, members. Can you disband these multiple kamkunjis I'm seeing in the House? Order.
Mr. Speaker, tunazungumzia mambo muhimu na hawa watu wa 10 kwa moja wanatusumbua leo, na hii ni mambo muhimu. Wale maskini akipata matako liambata, waambie tuache tuendelee na kazi. Hiyo iliisha na sisi tulipata 10 wao wakapata 1. Tosha, finish. Sasa Mr. Speaker, Lamu wanatuchukulia kama ambao sisi si muhimu, si binadamu. Bwana Speaker, kutoka yule mzungu alipochukuliwa kabla hata ni 2013, sisi Lamu tumekuwa hatuna raha. Tunafungiwa watu. Chairman anasema hakuna curfew, lakini barabara ya Bargoni mpaka Kiunga haipitiki mpaka upitishwe na jeshi. Huwezi pita mwenyewe hivi hivi. Watu wakiunga kuja Mokoe wanatumia boti. Na usiku mimi napita hiyo barabara. Nikizungumza hapa mimi naipitia hiyo barabara. Kukiwa na shida hapa, pengine niko eneo bunge langu na natakikana asubuhi. Lamu imefungwa, hakuna airport, huwezi toka by air, huwezi toka by road. Huwezi toka kwa sababu hata ile airstrip pale airport haina hizi zile zinaitwa runway light. Hata kukiwa na emergency, mtu akipata, kama kuna incident ilitokea, Bwana Spika, kuna msichana alianguka kule, alikwenda matembezi, ndege ya kumtoa haikupatikana, yule msichana alikufa. Njia ya barabara huwezi pita, wakisema hakuna curfew nini. Mimi mwenyewe kama mbunge mpaka nipigie simu kama kuna emergency nipewe escort nitoke. Kwa hivyo curfew iko na ni muhimu itolewe. Security is paramount, lakini mmetufungia kwa muda mrefu. Tunaomba jamani, mfungue. Wale security wanaweza fata magari au wanaweza toa akasema time fulani mpaka time fulani watu wapite, au magari ya mzigo yapite, abiria labda, lakini haiwezekani mkatufungia hivyo tu, kwani sisi binadamu. Asante.
Point made. Yes. Honorable Ngogoyo.
Honorable Speaker, I exhausted what.
Hold on. Member for Garsen, what is the problem?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think this is the House of Information. The Chair for Security has no information on that road. Mr. Speaker, direct the Committee of Security, plus members affected, to visit the area. He has no information, total blackout.
Yes, Chairman.
Speaker, to this curfew in Lamu, and I went with Captain. She can attest to this. No curfew, and let's the curfew, Honorable Speaker. I think the question is already on record. Blocks. We should not confuse roadblocks and. Nevertheless, Honorable Speaker, let me, Speaker, protect me.
Hold on, time. Responding to your own, so don't disturb.
Honorable member was already on record having on roadblock. You know, because the minister was supposed to appear before the committee. And Honorable Speaker, I need your guidance. Fight. We have already slotted again the CS, the committee, to respond to a number of questions that were true. Talib is at liberty again to appear and able to make the CS.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Is totally different from that I raised. Blocks. Curfew is enforced by. Thank you.
A battle of semantics. Roadblocks are saying there's a curfew, and you know, in law, to have a curfew, it must be gazetted. Challenge him by showing him the gazette notice of the curfew.
Okay, ndio mimi nataka kuuliza kama hakuna curfew, kuna nini? Manake sisi paka sasa mimi kupita ambio sasa kama ni nini iko saa 12 huwezi pita kutoka Gamba hufiki, wamekaa barabarani hapo, ukipita gari unaambiwa kuna curfew. Kama si curfew, tueleze what is there. Au gani gani mpaka turegeshwe? 15 Spika, ni wapi hapa? Mungu akatupa ile kafi ya COVID, watu walilalamika. Sisi 5 sisi tuko kwa kafi.
Personal with her, and we managed to transform the entire. And I think from the start we must appreciate the situation in Lamu. What is happening in Lamu are just which are good for this country. Lamu, I think the speaker curfew has to be a gazette, which is not in place. And that is a position or official position.
Can't do the same thing over and over.
Solution, Speaker. Alienda na mimi. Alienda siku. Sasa mchana. Sasa hapa lakini mchana hakuna.
Order, Raider, you are using unparliamentary language. Mwenyekiti wa taarifa. And the roadblock.
No, thank you. What from the in regards to the this was done a while ago. Thank you.
And in case there is a curfew, it must have a definite period when it is gazetted. So let's go to the next. Doris Donya, is she in the house? Before I invite you, allow me, honorable members, in the public gallery, we have Katumba Comprehensive School. Order. Order, honorable members, take your seats. Order. CNN, take your seats. Allow me to recognize order in the public gallery. We have Katumba Comprehensive School. Order Omongina. You are out of order, Jerusha. Take your seat. I know it's your first day, but to reduce the levels of excitement and exuberance. And I've made very beautiful gardens for you out here. Those of you who want to converse, just go to the gardens, sit, talk, and then come back to the house. I was acknowledging in the public gallery Katumba Comprehensive School, Mwingi Central, Kitui, Olongerin Primary School from Narok West, Narok, Sony Sugar Comprehensive School from Awendo, Migori, and in the Speaker's Gallery, there's Kiambere School Complex from Bere North Embu. Then we have St. Hilda Kadonzueni from Mwingi Central, Kitui, and Friends School Kamsinga from Kimili, Bungoma. Honorable members, Friends School Kamsinga is the school where you as truly went to. It is my school and I'm very proud of it. Yes. Yes, Robert Mbui.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to take this opportunity to also welcome the Friends School Kamsinga and all the other schools to the House of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, you know, a lot of times members here would always tell the students that they should emulate them and maybe try to be like them so that they can come to the House. But Mr. Speaker, I want to say there are greater things that the children can do, our students can do, than even being members of Parliament. They can go on to be great people in the world. So I want to congratulate them and welcome the House of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, allow me to also welcome those leaders that came in solidarity with our latest Member of Parliament, also to welcome them to the House so that they can also see the proceedings. Allow me to also congratulate the newly elected Parliament for All Kalau for being elected, you know, in a landslide victory, Mr. Speaker, in such a way that we have shown that Kenyans can make a decision despite anything that anyone does. Even the gas cylinders, even the blankets, even the mattresses, even the boats did not mean anything. He ended up winning. He was called a chokora, and now he's in the House. Mr. Speaker, I want to tell the students, we are also in uniform, in solidarity with Kenyan students. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you. Wangwe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me on the onset to welcome all the students, including Friends School Kamusinga. And Honorable Speaker, say that this is the House of Parliament. This is the destination, Honorable Speaker, that would wish to come there after their training, Honorable Speaker. But Honorable Speaker also insists on this issue of education. The Honorable Speaker, let us focus. We are happy that most of the issues to do with higher education financing, discussion and conversations are going on. Let the Ministry, Honorable Speaker, and the government finalize this issue so that students from Friends School Kamusinga, who must always go to university, Honorable Speaker, can have safe landing and undertake good education in universities, Honorable Speaker, at an affordable rate. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. To submit.
Thank you. Yes, your question. Honorable members, also in the Speaker's Gallery, allow me to introduce to you a delegation of 9 members of the Kenya Hemophilia Association, led by James Cargo. The delegation is in attendance to follow the proceedings report of the Departmental Committee on Health on its consideration of the petition on the management of hemophilia and other bleeding disorders at order number 14. Honorable members, on my behalf and that of the Assembly, welcome them to the House. Honorable members, you may recall, order, Sirma and your group, order. You may recall there was a petition here on hemophilia, and I allowed you almost 30 minutes to make very positive comments on it. First, we congratulate the Committee on Health. They have finished looking at that petition and brought the report on record time. It is now listed for debate at order number 14. And the members who brought the petition requested to be invited to the House, and I did accede, and are sitting in the Speaker's Gallery. You know, hemophilia relates to bleeding disorders. And that being a delicate condition, I'll direct the clerk that once we finish the orders on first readings, we bring forward order number 14 so that you can discuss this report in the standing order time, so that those who brought the petition can also have an opportunity within the levels of their comfort to listen to the debate and then go back to their home. So, first readings up to order number 11. We will bring forward order number 14 in the House. Congratulations for working hard and bringing this report in record time. You'll then be able to move. I hope you have your seconder, and those who want to contribute will do so. Thank you. Next statement, Doris Donya statement, Tongoyo, you ready? Cases of missing children in Kenya.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, I'm ready.
Is Donya in the House? Yes, she is. Go ahead.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, I want to respond to the question regarding the rising cases of missing children in the country, being sought by the Member of Parliament for Kisii County, Doris Donya. And I want to respond as follows. The number of cases of missing children reported in the country over the last 1 year, including the number of children traced and reunited with their families. Honorable Speaker, there is a summarized list of the reported cases of missing children by region, together with the number of children traced and reunited, and I want to quickly go through them. As per January 2025 to June 2026, Nyanza County, number of reported 47, traced and reunited 42. Central, 230, traced and reunited with their families 160. Coast, reported 83, traced 57. Rift Valley had 439 cases of missed and traced and reunited family 320. 3, traced 220. Nairobi, missed were 54, traced were 12. Western, 103, traced and reunited with their families 69. Northeastern, 53, traced and reunited with their families were 37. Total number of cases reaching children within the said period is 151. The traced number within the said period and 17. On the second question, Honorable Speaker, measures being taken by the I want to state as follows. The government has taken several measures aimed at disappearances, improving investigation and strengthening child protection in the country. These include establishment and strengthening of the child desk at police station to provide child-friendly reporting environment, improve the handling of cases involving children, enhancing surveillance and monitoring trafficking routes, border points, and areas considered vulnerable to exploitation and trafficking activities. The interagency collaboration within local administration, educational facilities, and civil society in responding to cases involving missing children. Continued use of structures to support earlier reporting, sharing of information regarding missing children, public awareness and sensitization program to educate on children protection, reporting procedures, and preventing disappearances. Continued monitoring of emerging threats, including online trafficking, trafficking networks, and other forms of child that may contribute to child disappearances. Honorable Speaker, regarding the existence and effectiveness of child protection rapid response mechanism, Service, the State Department for Social Protection, the National Council for Children's Services Protection stakeholders have established and operationalized various children and rapid responses mechanisms aimed at safeguarding children and responding cases involving missing, abused, neglected, or exploited. The Anti-Human Trafficking and Child Protection Unit works and regional station within Kenya to verify international movement in collaboration is active within NCB for children trafficking outside Kenya borders. Specialized children, gender and children desk has been established in police stations across the country involving children in child-friendly manner and coordinate reservations. The National Police Service works closely with the Department of Children's Services, county child protection committees, local schools, healthcare facilities, and civil society organizations to reporting, rescue, tracing, and reunification of the missing children. The members of the public can report missing persons through a toll-free number, Fichua, kwa DCI. Upon receipt missing children, investigative teams are activated to undertake such operation, gather, disseminate information to relevant agencies, and coordinate rescue efforts whenever, of course, the arrest and prosecution of the offenders, and the existing communication to include media outlets, social media channel, police networks, inter-agency sharing mechanisms, and they are utilized to disseminate information on the missing children, assistance in the tracing. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, the police and the inter-agency intervention being implemented, the National Police Service with other government agencies and stakeholders has implemented various policy agency intervention aimed at enhancing protection and safety of children in the country, include among the service enforces laws and policy relating to child, including the Children Act of 2022, the Counter Trafficking in 2010, the Data Protection Act of the 2019, the National Action Policy, and other child safeguarding frameworks. Investigated against children and ensure that the perpetrators are apprehended and prosecuted with the law. And of course, the multi-agency collaboration that I've already mentioned. And the Department of Children's Services, the National Council for Children, Judiciary, the Office of the Director of the ODPP, the County Public Protection, the National Organization and Development Partners, including UNICEF and the civil. This multi-sectoral approach facilitates coordinated prevention, investigation, prosecution, rehabilitation, and reintegrating victims. And Honorable Speaker, establishment and strengthening of specialized crimes against children to include the human trafficking, child protection units mandated to investigate online child exploitation and abuse, and just established at all polling stations, as earlier mentioned. As establishing mechanism for reporting, developing integrated base and information sharing mechanism to support child raising and recovery, and also a DCI. In partnership with the local and international agencies, the service has enhanced an investigation of the online child sexual exploitation and abuse, public awareness, safety, and responsible digital engagement, collaboration with industry and international law enforcement agency to identify and apprehend offenders. The government continues to undertake community policing initiative and the public aimed at creating awareness on the child protection issues, encouraging timely reporting of neglect and exploitation, and promoting community responsibility in safeguarding children. Honorable Speaker, the service has leveraged the Nyumba Kumi community policing structures to gather intelligence and support early intervention efforts. The introduction of the TPED for this Nyumba Kumi will continue a long way to help in this. The service works closely with the Department of Children's Service and non-governmental to ensure rescue and the placement of children in safe medical, psychosocial, and legal support services. Evidence-based policing and resource allocation, improve information sharing among children protection stakeholders. Honorable Speaker, and this is signed by Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, the Cabinet Secretary for Interior National Coordination. I submit, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Donya.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I had a concern on the missing children in Kenya, who has given. He has actually stated the organizations in charge of the works which go around at the department. He has not elaborated on what the organizations are doing. He named like 100 organizations. In my statement, I didn't answer those who are in charge. So, Chair, I don't know what was wrong with us on what the ministry is doing regarding the missing children. You have said the Nyumba Kumi to do their work. We know the Nyumba Kumi are there. Just evading the responsibility as chair in charge of this to take care of our children. Mr. Speaker, I didn't ask of the organizations. I just wanted to know the measures they are taking to ensure and have safety and their security is guaranteed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman?
Yeah, Honorable
Let's
Speaker.
take one more, Chairman Zamzam.
Na Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kumuunga mkono dadangu Donya. Watoto Mheshimiwa Spika, na sio sawa wala si haki kusema kuwa waweze kuwapatia wazee wa mitaa. Wazee wa mitaa hawawezi kuwa ambayo inafaa zaidi kujua watoto wanapotea namna gani, na hata weshwa boda Mheshimiwa Spika, wazee wa mitaa hawako kule. Kwa hiyo mimi ningeomba haya masala ya usalama yamekuwa dondo sugu, na mimi ningeomba usukume sana Mombasa County pia na sukumwa sana kwa ukuta, na ndo hayo maswali ambayo tunauliza kila siku. Kwa hiyo kama hana ufahamu zaidi, mimi ningeomba aende ajulishwe ili atuletee jawabu mwafaka ndani ya bunge. Asante sana Mheshimiwa.
Speaker, also allow me to weigh in on this matter and border point. The issue of disappearance of children is becoming an alarming. While we have done a lot of work with the local administration and the schools and everybody, I believe the national government should do much, much more to protect and in many of the cases, Honorable Speaker, the children are lured on their way from school in the morning, in the evening, or just over the weekends or over school holidays. So judge the government to go out of its way to enhance public civic education, continuously remind parents it's their sole responsibility to take care of their children.
Yes, Tongoyo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I respectfully also in with of the members, but Honorable Speaker, referring to their statement, I think your first question is no dispute. It was enumerating the number of cases. I think that is, and regrettably, they are quite alarming. On the second, Honorable Speaker, it was being taken to investigate, to curb the abductions. The other was the information of existence of effectiveness. Honorable Speaker, I think with traction of children involve both the government and non-government actors, to include NGOs and even international actors. And the extent that the statement tried to go to explain interventions to curb the vice. So, Honorable Speaker, I'm really disturbed by the numbers. But the issue of enumerating the plan, what the questions sought to address.
Next is Honorable Mwango in the House. Yes, transport. Are you ready with the response? Yes, I am. Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on Thursday, 2026, the member for Starehe constituency, Honorable Amos Mwago, requested for a statement from the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the implementation of the instant fines system. The Honorable Mwago indicated the concerns regarding the operationalization fine system, including the adequacy of signage, public sensitization system, safeguards, and plan nationwide coverage. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Mwago sought to, among other things, establish a evidenceable speed limits and other traffic signages have been placed and adequately sensitized on the operationalization of B, plans to ensure other road sections across the country are covered under the automated instant fine system, and C, system safeguards put in place to guarantee the accuracy and integrity of the instant fine system. Honorable Speaker, the committee received a written response from the Ministry of Roads and Transport, which I now wish to make. One, regarding evidence that clear and visible speed limits and other traffic signages have been placed and motorists adequately sensitized on the operationalization of the system, the ministry submitted that the road sections where speed cameras are currently being deployed are fitted with the requisite statutory speed limit signs. The ministry acknowledges that the availability and condition of traffic signs across parts of the national road network remain inadequate, and some signs have been vandalized, damaged, obscured, or removed over time. To address this, NTSA is engaging with Kenha, Kera, Kura, and other relevant road authorities to progressively install additional speed limit signs and advanced warning signage informing motorists that their speed is being monitored. Further, NTSA, through the Department of Road Safety Audit, is undertaking joint road safety audits and corridor assessments with the relevant road authorities to identify locations requiring additional or replacement traffic signs. Regarding plans to ensure other road sections across the country are covered under the automated instant fine systems, the ministry submitted that the National Road Safety Action Plan provides for a phased implementation strategy based on risk assessment rather than nationwide deployment at inception. The implementation program includes identification of high-risk corridors and urban areas using crash statistics and other safety data, progressive deployment of automatic speed enforcement demonstration projects or designated high-risk road sections, expansion of automated enforcement and compliance systems to additional road corridor based on operational experience and road safety priorities. Capacity building for enforcement and agencies to ensure standardized and technology-driven enforcement and continuous integration of enforcement systems with the road safety and monitoring systems to support evidence of the program. And Honorable Speaker, regarding guards put in place to guarantee the accuracy and integrity fine systems, the ministry submitted that NTSA has established comprehensive legal, operational, and technological safeguards, including standardized operational procedures governing detection of offenses, verification of offender identity, issuance of notifications, electronic payments, handling of disputed offenses, data management, monitoring and reporting, technology-based evidence using certified speed detection devices, mobile surveillance systems, and approved digital enforcement platforms. Verification before notification to confirm driver or registered owner identity, right to fair administrative action affording motorists an opportunity to admit liability and settle the prescribed administrative penalty or dispute the notification through the legally established adjudication process, cashless payments processed electronically through designated government payment platforms, anti-corruption controls, including prohibition of cash handling, digital recording of all enforcement actions, regular audits, monitoring of enforcement activities, established complaints mechanisms, and continuous system oversight, and continuous monitoring and performance evaluation through the governance framework established under the National Road Safety Action Plan, including quarterly performance reviews, annual reporting, key performance indicators, and continuous evaluation of enforcement. And lastly, Honorable Speaker, the ministry further submitted that the implementation of the instant fines system is contingent upon the decriminalization of minor traffic offenses currently provided for under Section 117 of the Traffic Act. And to facilitate this reform, the authority is developing a Traffic Amendment Bill 2026 to establish an administrative enforcement framework for minor traffic infractions. The proposed amendments replace criminal prosecution with an administrative process under which traffic infraction notices may be issued electronically. Offenders may admit liability and pay the prescribed administrative penalty, or exercise their right to administrative review and appeal where the notice is disputed. I submit. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mango. Before you seek clarification, allow me to acknowledge in the Speaker's Gallery, Ronjena Secondary School from Narok West, Narok. Students, when you are mentioned, you stand up to be acknowledged. There is also Mary Mother Academy from Kieni, Nyeri. There is Ikawa School from Chuka, Igambangombe, Tharakanithi. And in this public gallery, we have Arena Comprehensive School from Kisumu, Central Kisumu, and Cheptikit Academy from Mount Elgon, Bungoma. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Mwango?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Even as I seek clarity, allow me to join fellow Kenyans of goodwill to welcome our latest Member of Parliament from Olkalau constituency, Sami Douglas Kamau, who I campaigned vigorously for. He was called a Chokora, but is now in the precincts of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I wish to seek clarity from the Chairman Transport. I just ask a very basic question. Evidence that there are clear signages along the highways where they put the cameras, where they're enacting this automated fine system. It is clear that from his response, he's admitted that most of the signages have been vandalized, others are not clearly visible, others are not there. My question was very simple. How do you have cameras in a place where there are no signages? It is very unfair to find a person where there are no signages, but the cameras are operating. And the other question was, how are they sensitizing the people or motorists about this new system? I did not get an answer to that. I just had a very long story, a very ambiguous story around the whole thing, without coming out clearly. What are the measures put in place to sensitize many motorists? And what are they going to, how are they going to address the issue of the signages? Where there are no signages, how do you find a person where there are no signages? On the other issue of the integrity of the system, you can see there's a very big disparity in matters how these fines are, maybe these are applied. For example, you'll see a motorist fined 500, another one fined over 10,000, another 3,000. It is not standardized as he claims to, as he claims. So I'm not satisfied with this answer.
Thank you. Let's take one more. Kimani of Molo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to remind you, Honorable Speaker, that you did guide that the Committee of Finance will be joined in this particular matter for this reason.
Yes.
That I raised the floor of this House. The punishment that should be done, the offense is not committed by the owner of the vehicle. It is committed by the driver. And I give a scenario. Take, for example, all the secured loans by banks, for example. So a bank, like Equity Bank, will have maybe 100,000 motor vehicles on the road that are registered in the name of Equity Bank. So therefore, if those fines are now levied on the logbook of those vehicles, then it's the Equity Bank that will pay those particular fines. Take, for example, someone who owns a fleet of Nissans or buses. I own 100 buses that commute between Rironi and Mau Summit, and every day there is probably a new driver. Then those fines will come to the logbook of those vehicles which I'm registered under. A more even practical example, think about our boda sector. 90% of the boda that you find on the roads are not owned by the cyclists. They are owned by lending companies like Mogo, like Watu, like Mkopa. And therefore, when these fines then are levied on those lenders, because they're the ones who register those logbooks, then those businesses will certainly close down. I think it's very important, Honorable Speaker, that this matter be re-examined and to find a way of levying the fine on the person who commits the crime, who is the driver, and not the owner of the vehicle, Honorable Speaker. Otherwise, Honorable Speaker, the vehicle that you have, that you use in the village, that is someone who carries maybe your mother or your father from one place to the other, they keep committing fines, and you keep seeing fines of 10,000 shillings every day on your phone. In a month, it's 300,000 shillings. It is not. It is not. You
made your point. Yes, Robert Boy.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you know, I'm a supporter of cameras on the roads because I think Kenya needs discipline on the roads. It's a very important thing because when you travel the world, you notice that, people are very, very careful when they see the camera signs. And then you notice that accidents are much less than they are here. So it's a very good idea. But Mr. Speaker, even as we support it, I can see the concerns many members have. And I have also another concern. On Langata Road, Mr. Speaker, there's a camera. I don't know where exactly. But I have been a victim, and I know a few people have been victims of the same. But sometimes you ask yourself, why would the camera be put in a place where there's no school next door, there's no place where people are walking on the road? It's basically a highway. Why would you put a camera there and put a speed limit in, Mr. Speaker, of 50 kilometers per hour? A place where if you move at 50 kilometers per hour, you're actually likely to cause an accident. So, Mr. Speaker, I think there is need for this to be sorted out and thought through before we actually implement it fully.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you, and I also must thank my neighbor, the Honorable Amos Mwago, for bringing this to Parliament. And maybe it would be informative for the chairperson of the Transport Committee to also do a search and spin and see the need is appreciated. The need for cameras and surveillance on our roads is more than appreciated. However, Mr. Speaker, if you travel on the roads in Kenya today, you are never able to tell where the speed limit zones are. There is never a sign that shows you that the 110 speed limit starts here and this is where it ends. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, there is technology available that can be utilized by NTSA to ensure that when a charge is made, it is not occasioned on the owner of the vehicle. It is actually a charge that is put on the driver who was driving at the moment when the offense was done. So, Mr. Speaker, I do believe there is space for the Transport Committee to go back and examine the matter that Honorable Mwago brought to us and find how the technology will also work with the real life situation on the roads, and especially if they're digitizing the penalty system, that must also have real, what you would call highway furniture, real road furniture, up to and including the traffic signs, Mr. Speaker. I do thank you.
Carola Mondi. Carola Mondi, I thought
almost more than half of the resources that you're devolving to counties, that 400 and, I don't know, was it 420 or 425 billion that you're passing? More than 50% of it in 70% of the counties is just paying salaries. Meaning you cannot even refer to yourself as a governor. If you're a governor and you're spending more than 50% of the shareable revenue to pay salaries, then you should change the notice on your entrance to your office. Don't refer to yourself as a governor. Say you're entering the office of the paymaster, because that's all you're doing. You're just paying salaries, Mr. Speaker. There's nothing you're governing in that particular county, or the payroll master for that particular matter, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I am particularly excited about this consideration. And Mr. Speaker, there is somebody seeking to inform me. And
do you wish to be informed by Senator Kadri?
Yes, I don't mind, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed, Senator.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Majority, for accepting information. The information should have come a little earlier. You wanted to know why Senator Wakwabubi was talking about the committee. I am the one who actually raised the point that Senate mandate under Article 96 of the Constitution contemplates collective responsibility. Therefore, it is okay for elected members to get reports, but how about the nominated members? We also play an oversight role. We would actually be able to inform you, I believe, Honorable Senator Cheruyot, looking at the report for Kericho, I will have the eye that will tell you what was done or done badly around gender, what was done or done badly around disability inclusion, what was done or done badly around youth inclusion. So that's why I felt the report should be sent to the Senate. Of course, they will reach the 47 as well as the others. Thank you.
Speaker, I hear Senator Catherine Moma, and that's very useful information, I must say, Senator Catherine. But nothing really stops our colleagues, the nominated senators, from accessing this particular report. It's only that we have said, send it to the individual senator, and as well acceptable or available, to all the other members of the various delegations, Mr. Speaker. Because I agree that as a nominated member of this House, you have a duty to equally oversight as much as those of us that come to this House by way of universal suffrage, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, I don't think in the way that we have proposed, we disenfranchise you of that particular responsibility. The only problem is that the reverse, Mr. Speaker, actually makes it difficult for us, because we already have experience with Public Investments Committee, Public Accounts Committee, where the only interaction we get to have with audit reports from our counties, Mr. Speaker, is when we get that opportunity to appear before them when our county governments are invited. Therefore, I felt that the original idea that Senator Omtata had, where this is sent to you as an area senator, Mr. Speaker, is a better idea, and that will be available to all of us as colleagues. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I want to appreciate, this is good improvement. I must register, Senator Omtata, that this is a noble initiative, and I hope that the CS for finance and those that are in charge of the FMIS departments are ready with the reports, because I can see from the mood of the House, Mr. Speaker, that members are excited to see this. Separately, Mr. Speaker, and while risking to be relevant, and know that it's important to be relevant, I must celebrate something noble that happened this weekend. Did you notice, Mr. Speaker, that this weekend there were so many political activities, but there is absolutely none, at least none that caught my attention, that was infiltrated or, Mr. Speaker, interfered with by goons across the entire republic. That is the Kenya that we want, Mr. Speaker. I hope the owners of goons from whatever part of the country they come from, Mr. Speaker, can continue with that particular trend. I don't know whether it is because of the threat from the IG or whatever. Allow people to come and say whatever they want to say. The owners of the power, Mr. Speaker, who are the voters, Mr. Speaker, will have their eventual say in all these matters. With those many remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to support. Thank you.
Very well, Senator Ososi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me start by congratulating the Senator for Busia, Senator Okiya Omtata, for coming up with this very important motion that we resolve that the Cabinet Secretary in charge of National Treasury shall be providing the clerk on monthly basis all FMIS transaction and reports for each county government, and those reports will now be transmitted to the respective senators. Mr. Speaker, this is a very, very important motion in our oversight role as senators, and I'm very confident that it will improve our standing as senators in terms of our work. We'll be able to do our work in time, and basically it will also improve the audit process. Mr. Speaker, let me just discuss a few highlights. In the audit environment for counties, there are five common problems. The first one is the issue of pending bills. Pending bills is a problem in almost all our counties because the process of prioritizing payments in the counties is determined according to the interest that county officials have, governor or the chief officers or others there. So you find that some payments are delayed and some payments are even voided in FMIS. So the challenge of voiding payment, it's common, and that is what in most cases would lead to a lot of challenges, including generation of pending bills. So this particular motion, if implemented properly, will give us a chance to know which payments have not been prioritized and for what reason they have not been prioritized. So eventually, Mr. Speaker, we will, after some time, be able to deal with this challenge of pending bills that is common in all our counties. The other major problem that we experience in our counties is diversion of funds, where the counties make requests to the controller of budget for some payments. Once the controller of budget has approved the request, those requests are substituted with other payments which were not approved by the controller of budget. And actually this also leads to pending bills. So the issue of diversion of funds, which is a crime, Mr. Speaker, will be able to be flagged out by senators because we will be able to know which particular payments have been diverted and which ones have not been diverted. Then there is the issue of late disbursement of funds, which in most cases has been blamed on control of budget. But sometimes it is also largely to do with the treasury. So we will be able to know what is happening in IFMIS and know where the blame should lie. Then there is a challenge of non-remittance of statutory deductions, where counties make payments without paying taxes, without paying SACCO dues, without paying pension, and this has been a problem in most counties. We will be able to flag out all this. Mr. Speaker, so this motion is important. I want to support it. And most importantly, it will help us to stop being morticians, Mr. Speaker. You know, we are basically morticians. We wait for the Auditor General to do his report, and then now we come a year later. Now the system has improved because of Article 229, Mr. Speaker. But before that, we could even look at reports that were done 2-3 years ago. We will be able to do these things almost in real-time time. 1 month period, we'll be able to discover if there is any major fraud in the offing or any major anomaly, and we'll be able to pick it up. So instead of waiting for the Auditor General to do her reports to us 1 or 2 years later, we'll be able to pick up in time and be able to act on it as soon as possible. But, Mr. Speaker, as I said, there are gaps in the audit process. If you look at the Auditor's General reports and the process, you realize that there are huge gaps. You know, the law does not allow the Auditor General to give us the draft management letters that they usually give at the point of exit meeting. But if you look at the draft management letters, it usually has many, many issues which don't end up in the main audit report that is published. Mr. Speaker, this process will allow us to be able to flag out some of those issues which don't eventually end up in the audit report that is published by the Auditor General. And therefore, that will help the Senate to enhance its oversight role, to enhance its governance issues on matters to do with funds in our counties. But, Mr. Speaker, even as we do that, even as we seek to get the reports on monthly basis, I would like to advise that this process, let us see how it runs. But the most ideal thing is for the senators to be given read-only rights to IFMIS, so that we don't have to wait for 1 month, then we get reports. Sometimes those reports may be manipulated. Some important information may be omitted. So we come and look at it a month later. The most ideal thing would be we are given access to IFMIS, read-only access, and we are able to check for ourselves what is happening in as far as payment in our counties is concerned. That will help a great deal. Real-time access to IFMIS. But, Mr. Speaker, even with that IFMIS access, we'll still be incapacitated. Even with these reports that we are talking about, we'll still be incapacitated. I think the most ideal thing, and this is something that we have been crying for, we need IFMIS to be made an end-to-end solution, financial management solution, right from the counties where we have COB officials, then coming to COB, the approval process they undertake, and then coming to the payment. at Treasury through IFMIS, and then eventually to Central Bank. The challenge of IFMIS is that IFMIS is not yet an end-to-end solution. So even if we were to compare the approvals that have been made by Controller of Budget against what has been paid, we'll still have it a problem to us. Because now we are not able to see in real time what the Controller of Budget has approved to be paid. So I think even as we support this motion, the most ideal thing would be, one, to be given real read-only access to IFMIS. Number two, to push so that we have an end-to-end IFMIS solution. That would help because I still see there will be a lot of back and forth in this process because of the manual aspect of these reports which will be generated by the Auditor General. Mr. Speaker, I have talked about Parliament being like a mortician. I think if we look at other jurisdictions, like in the UK, we must appreciate that the Auditor General has the constitutional right to do the audit process. But internally in Parliament, we need to have an internal audit unit so that some of these things are flagged out before, in real time, before the Auditor General comes up with a report a year later. And we are able to deal with the frauds that happen in our counties in record time. So I think that is something that the Parliamentary Service Commission has to think about. And it's not just Senate, even national government. Parliament has to have an internal audit function that can give us reports on our counties or public sector so that we are able to do our oversight in real time. Mr. Speaker, this recommendation will also help us deal with the gaps that we have in our oversight process and in our audit process. And Mr. Speaker, our county offices will function better than we are doing now, because even getting information from counties, Mr. Speaker, is a problem. The senator for Busia had a problem with the county government of Busia because he could not get documents that he wanted. And I'm sure the rest of us here have problems getting information from our own counties. So this is going to help. Mr. Speaker, as I wind up, now that we are talking about audit, I think the audit, the framers of our law gave the responsibility on oversight committees to minority side. In the old system, we used to call it opposition side. Mr. Speaker, I think we need to relook at this. Because if you have decided to join the government, ideally you should not lead or participate in oversight committees. That is wrong. Because what are you oversighting? We need to rethink this thing. If you make a decision, even if you are on the minority side or on majority side, and you make a decision to be on the government side, then ideally it is not moral for you to chair or be the vice chair of an oversight committee like PIC or OPAC. I am just giving an advice because of what is happening in this house and even in the National Assembly. You cannot be, for example, the chairman of PAC in National Assembly oversighting the same government that you are supporting on a day-to-day basis. Then that is no oversight. So even as we do this, I know Senator Omutata is working on something on this. And this will help this country if we go that direction. But if we go in direction that people who are in government side can be the ones leading oversight committees, then we are not doing oversight, Mr. Speaker, because you know what it means if you are oversighting someone you are supporting. I think even as we do all these good improvements, that is one area that must be looked into carefully so that we can give confidence to the Kenyans and the public that indeed the houses of parliament are serving the people of Kenya in terms of oversight. I think this motion will help us a great deal, but then as alluded by the majority leader, I think motions are passed by this house. But this motion sometimes implementation becomes a problem. And that is why, Mr. Speaker, I still support the idea of us having a committee on implementation so that some of these things, good things that we pass in this house are followed up in sufficient time by a specific committee to ensure that they are implemented. I fear that 60 days after we pass this motion, I fear that maybe Treasury may not
we should be very observant and keen. Seconds, just put the full stop within 30 seconds.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to call upon, I think, Finance Committee. Once this motion has been passed, please ensure that this motion is implemented within 60 days after the passage of this. Otherwise, we will not be doing justice to the member who has come up with this motion and many of us who are supporting this motion. Mr. Speaker, I support.
Senator Tsaligai Samson.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to support this motion by the distinguished senator from Busia, Senator Okoiti Okia Omtata Andrew, who was a presidential candidate. I don't know whether he's still a presidential candidate. And somebody has alluded that we have a number of presidential candidates in this house. We have him, Nairobi Senator. We have people who want to be governors, others cabinet secretaries. So this house is full of leadership. And we have former members of this house, Mr. Speaker, who have gone to high offices, including the current deputy president. Professor Kithure Kindiki was sitting where you are sitting then in the last session. So it looks like your future is bright if you follow in those footsteps. So I want to congratulate my brother, Senator Okia Omtata, who is always very level-headed, who is always out. And I remember, the reason can be stem, I remember when Senator Omtata was attacked for demanding for this information, was very unfortunate by the goons allegedly sponsored by Busia Governor. And it's unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, I saw he was never given a chance to address the installation and consecration of the ACK Diocese of Katakwa, new bishop. He was just acknowledged, Mr. Speaker, but I hope next time he will be allowed to say something as a presidential candidate. Mr. Speaker, this stems from the fact that access to information under Article 34 and 35, access to information and access to media is a basic right, Mr. Speaker. But you find most of our Kenyans, especially in most of our counties, they can't access even a budget, Mr. Speaker. They can't. They can't access even a CIDP, County Integrated Development Fund, the development program. They can access annual development plan. They can access medium-term strategy paper that is processed by the county governments of either county executive or county assembly. Mr. Speaker, when you were in the last session, and I thought in 2016 you passed a bill called Access to Information Act. And I know then you serve at the lower house, the National Assembly, and you did process that act. But it looks like access to information held by state agencies is still a mirage, Mr. Speaker, which is very unfortunate. That we don't need to come and do a motion to do our job as envisaged under Article 96 on oversight, Mr. Speaker. When I need, and by the way, I want to confess, whenever I need information from the county executive of Nandi, I have to use a lot of magic, including, Mr. Speaker, even sorcery-like tactics to access some of this information, Mr. Speaker. Because the governor there who runs the county wouldn't want anybody to know what he's doing, because he's conniving, perambulating, and gallivanting into the access of the information, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I have said sorcery-like. I have not said like sorcery-like, Mr. Speaker.
Just a minute, there is a point of order from Senator Kavindu Mudhama.
Mr. Speaker, I want to hear from the Senator Cheregai what kind of sorcery he uses at this hour and era to bewitch. Are you a witch? Are you a wizard? So that you can use sorcery. Can you tell this house if you are a wizard that you use sorcery? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr.
Speaker,
can you make that necessary clarification?
Or is it clarification? Mr. Speaker, I said sorcery-like tactics, militant-like tactics. And you know, as the descendant of Koitalel Samoe, there is a way I can't express it. It comes out. Orgayot-like, orgayot, it is, you can only express in my local language, just like during JK, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, the reason I'm arguing is that most of the, Mr. Speaker,
you do wish to be informed by
all
Senator
means,
Omtata?
Yes,
Yes, we want to go into some history here. Yes. Senator Kavindu has used the word witch and wizard. Now, in English, there was a time when both words were bad. Today, a wizard is good, a witch remains bad. We had a master and a mistress. The master is good today, a mistress remains bad. So, when she was asking, I just want to clarify that these words, witch and wizard, are no longer at the same level. A wizard is now something positive. Yeah, the male side is positive. The master side, which is male, is positive, but the female side remains negative.
Mr. Speaker,
yes, just informing our brother.
Mr. Speaker, that is enough information. The direction he's taking will bring what we call quagmire. That might confuse, Mr. Speaker, more. But I want to say that access to information in our counties is still a mirage. And I think colleagues will ask, how many colleagues of ours can access budget, can access medium-term strategy, CIDP, annual development plans of our counties? It is hard, even in Meru. Mr. Speaker, I remember, and I want to strongly condemn the words of former impeached Deputy President where he was referring you as a corrupt. Mr. Speaker, we have never known you as a corrupt. That you participated in Livu-Grinturi, you are not a member of National Assembly, you are a member of the Senate. That you participated in removing Kawira, which is your constitutional right, that you removed him. Mr. Speaker, this era of tribal negative rhetoric must come to an end in this country, Mr. Speaker. And even going ahead and say we'll kill snake and the eggs, Mr. Speaker. Those are rhetorics that have challenged the NCIC to pick up immediately and investigate and ensure such people as former impeached Deputy President must fail full force of the law. They are not above the law. No one is above the law, Mr. Speaker, and you must be respected. I even saw attacking even an Asian origin, Rahim Dawood, a member of Ocean that has been elected severally by people of Meru, that they should elect somebody who is a Meru. Mr. Speaker, what is incitement and hate speech? More than that, an NCIC should look for information, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this country must be taught through the rule of law, Mr. Speaker. And I hope people like my brother Vihiga, Senator, should disassociate and distance themselves from such people who promote ethnic rhetoric in this country, Mr. Speaker, so that we can move out in this country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me get to the substratum and the flesh of the matter at hand, Mr. Speaker. So I want to thank Senator Okiya Omtata
What is out of order,
information
Senator Sutsi?
management and integration system.
Just a minute, Senator Chalagi.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise on standing order number 105 on statement of fact. He has said that I associate with those kind of people he has talked about. Mr. Speaker, I want to be very clear that I, Godfrey Osotsi, I associate and proudly associate with the Linda Mwananchi movement. And Linda Mwananchi is a movement that is going to change this country for the better under the leadership of His Excellency Edwin Watenya Sifuna, not the people that he's referring to. And I also want to tell you that I cannot associate
Senator
with the UDA in any manner, or the other UDA-B that belongs to the people who wear orange here.
Actually, what he said is you should desist. You should not associate yourself with such characters.
Mr. Speaker.
But you want them to do a bit of some politics.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, you know when Senator Cherargei is speaking, he wanted to get the limelight. But I want to reply.
Let's get another point of order.
As a UDA,
from the majority.
We don't want Ososi, even in the next life. We will never allow Ososi to join UDA. Even if he comes like an angel, I can confirm to the House that as a member of UDA will
Senator Chalagi. Yes, majority leader.
Mr. Speaker, now this debate has been lost. I wanted to interrupt at the time where Senator Osotsi said, I can never associate with UDA. Yet I know, Mr. Speaker, that unless, Mr. Speaker, I don't recall well, in my life in this parliament, we have associated with Osotsi very well. I have, on many occasions, Mr. Speaker, taken him to meet very big people in UDA. We have done functions with him in Vihiga, with representation from the UDA party. Mr. Speaker, made donations there. Mr. Speaker, I have not said of now. He said, I can never. That means in the past, in the present, and in the future, Mr. Speaker. The future, nobody knows. The present is what we know. But at least I wanted to remind him that in the past, he has done it. Mr. Speaker, I don't know what he intends to do with.
No, honorable senators, you know, we are done with the happy hour. That is the statement time. So we are now on serious business, debating a very, very important motion by Honorable Okia Mtata. But now we are degenerating into another happy hour, which was closed by the former chair. So proceed and conclude. Your time is up, actually.
Chair, no, the time is still, I have time. Mr. Speaker, information management system, and I want to say that, Mr. Speaker, my argument of IFEMIS after 2016 OAG report, this IFEMIS is an intentional fraud sponsored. Because IFEMIS as a system allows what we call voiding of payments by counties. And this is where governors are stealing the money. Because this IFEMIS, Mr. Speaker, it has what we call unexplained cancellation, control override, and ledger discrepancies. And this was captured by the OAG report, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there is also the issue of network architecture that has not been captured. Then there is lack of end user, where the Vihiga senator has alluded to, Mr. Speaker. So looking at this report, and colleagues should be aware that the reason, and you have to appreciate, Mr. Speaker, that there are many in the report of the OAG that IFEMIS as a system has not assisted counties in transparency and accountability. And that is why when approvals and requisitions are made to the COB, the controller of budget does not have a view to the end user. And that is when voiding of payments happen, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, we must ensure that even in this system, and Senator Omtata through the Speaker should be aware that there is also lack of integral service level agreement that was noted, inadequate backup policies, Mr. Speaker, and also security issues, including duplicate of users and password expiry,
and lack of proper approval processes. Mr. Speaker, you have to note that this is one of the that was paid to the Oracle Egypt, a total of $705,600 in 2011-2012, and 2011-2012 $250,000. Mr. Speaker, the counties that continue to give voided payments, and this is, senators, you should be aware, this is where governors are stealing, is there were 14,000 in 2024-2025 approved payments amounting to 24 billion cleared by COB, but there was no valid documentation or justification, and these counties are 13. For example, Nyandarua Council unvoided 1.2 billion, followed by Samburu 1.6 billion, Kisumu 2.6 billion, Kajiado 2.2 billion, Busia 2.15 billion, where the governor was renovating a launch like ours there with more than 200 million. I think our launch was more cheaper. Bomet 1.27 billion, Mombasa 921 million, and Embu 313 million. All these colleagues were avoided payments that cannot be accounted for. 24 billion, including Machakos, is here. Machakos, I can't get it because my time is fast spent, but I will share with my colleague. It is 20 billion, Mr. Speaker, that were avoided. So it means 24 billion approved by COB but cannot be accounted for, which means they have been stolen, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and therefore, I agree that each and every senator, every endman, must be able to access their reports, Mr. Speaker. And I'm happy that our students are here. This is a generation where it is digital. Literacy is the highest. But I saw an argument that as digital literacy and computers are used, the cognitive level comes down. But because they have here to learn, Mr. Speaker, allow me with your indulgence that at least 2 of my schools, Mr. Speaker, from Nandi County, that is Taito Senior School in Nandi Hills Sub-County or Nandi Hills Constituency, and Chemase Day and Boarding Junior School, have been able, I don't know whether they have been allowed or they are here, that have been, these 2 schools from Nandi County are part of the many learners who are sitting in your gallery, Mr. Speaker, and they are able to follow this conversation. That we want them to, this is an era of digital literacy. This is an era, Mr. Speaker, of opportunity where we are focused. And therefore, I want to wish Taito Senior School and Chemase Day and Boarding Junior School all the best, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, urge this distinguished senator that after resolution, Mr. Speaker, after the resolution of this House, we must ensure that we need an implementation committee. I think I rarely agree with the Vihiga senator. But on this one, on implementation committee, we must ensure that we have an implementation committee. Because we will pass. How will we know Senator Kavindu has received a report of IFMIS? How will we know Senator Crystal Asige, Senator Mwaruma, Mr. Speaker, who is our incoming chairperson of County Public Investment Committee of the Senate, Mr. Speaker, so that he can be able to ensure that Taita Taveta gets the IFMIS report? How can we ensure that Kalwale, the bullfighter, who is fighting in Talanyi, has an opportunity to access and be able to oversight? Although I know he likes it oversighting in funeral services, how can he go to a funeral somewhere in Lukoyani and share the information about Kakamega County, Mr. Speaker? I agree, even in Bungoma, Mr. Speaker, where Senator Wakoli, who has been suffering in the hands of the governor severally, Mr. Speaker, but lucky he eats well. You know, I sat with Senator Wakoli over lunch, and he eats around 5 kilos of ugali, Mr. Speaker. So he can be able, Mr. Speaker. The only missing the legacy, Mr. Speaker, is Terere. He's telling me there should be Terere and Imondo. That is missing in the legacy, and I want to appeal to Parliamentary Service Commission. How can you consume 5 kilo worth of ugali without proper Terere and Ingogo, Mr. Speaker? But I want to appreciate that in future we might include Mursik as part of the legacy, Mr. Speaker. So in an upshot, I want to agree with this motion. Let us support, let each and every senator access the IFMIS report so that we can do timely, Mr. Speaker, oversight, and ensure also we don't become morticians, Mr. Speaker. Because when you go to Meru and tell people financial year 2024-2025, they might not understand, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, because my time was spent, can you add me 1 minute so that I wrap up my thoughts?
No, since you ended time for Ingoho, Ugali, 5 kilograms and all those things, I think you are done with your
But Mr. Speaker, you have consumed my 3 seconds. Mr.
Therefore,
Speaker,
now
let us, I support this.
Let us now listen to Senator Mwaruma.
The mic. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity to have my input on this motion by the Senator for Busia, Senator Andrew Okia Omtata Okoiti MP, on the provision of IFMIS reports for county governments to the Senate. Mr. Speaker, the Senate is given the mandate to protect counties and their governments according to Article 96 of the Constitution, Mr. Speaker. Article 217, Mr. Speaker, of the same Constitution gives the Senate the mandate to oversight the funds that are dispersed to the counties, Mr. Speaker. I have to say that the primary oversight should be done by the county assemblies, Mr. Speaker. That is the primary oversight. Why? Because the county assemblies take part in doing the budgets. The projects and programs are done within the wards in the counties, Mr. Speaker. However, according to the ruling in the case of the Senate versus Council of Governors and 6 others, petition number 24 and 27 of 2019, that was consolidated in 2022, the Supreme Court affirmed the position of the Senate to oversight the counties for the funds appropriated nationally and locally generated revenue, Mr. Speaker. The people or the public expects the senators to do their oversight mandate. However, Mr. Speaker, this mandate cannot be carried out effectively if there is no adequate information and documentation, Mr. Speaker. And the thrust of this motion, Mr. Speaker, is the request that the IFMIS reports are provided to the senators. Mr. Speaker, this motion must be supported, and I do support, Mr. Speaker. Why? Because if there's a project or a program that is being implemented in the county and payments are made, we don't have access to information whether the projects and the programs that have been implemented or have been paid for have actually been implemented. Mr. Speaker, there are so many ghost projects that have been paid for, Mr. Speaker, in the counties. But as senators, we cannot ascertain whether that payment has been made. In my county, sometimes you have a hall that has been constructed. The bill of quantities requires that the hall is constructed and a toilet is constructed and water reservoir is also constructed. But you discover, Mr. Speaker, that the whole payment has been made, yet some of the components in the BQ have not been implemented. For example, full payment for a project overhaul maybe has been done, but there is no toilet that has been constructed, Mr. Speaker. So when we get this documentation, Mr. Speaker, it will allow the individual senators who are actually doing oversight across the counties using the Senate Oversight Fund to ascertain that whatever program of project has been paid for through IFMIS is actually in existence. Mr. Speaker, apart from the provision of the IFMIS reports, there are other very important documents that are required to be accessible to the senators. For example, budgets. More often than not, Mr. Speaker, senators are said not to be doing effective oversight because of lack of documentation. For example, when a budget is made, there are so many projects that appear in the initial budgets, which goes through public participation. But Mr. Speaker, when a supplementary budget is done, which supplementary budget does not go through public participation, the public says that we had our projects in the budget, but they have not been implemented. The money has been stolen, but the senator is not saying anything. But the problem is the public is not aware that having done the initial budget, there are other supplementary budgets that have been done, and the unfortunate part is that these budgets are done without public participation, Mr. Speaker. So we need also a view of the budgets and all the other supplementary budgets, but that now that it is not in this motion, maybe other motions should be done to make sure that all the necessary documentation that is required to do proper and effective oversight for the senators are provided, Mr. Speaker. The other documents that would really be important is the requisition for monies from the controller of budget, Mr. Speaker. Because then even if you are given the report from the IFMIS report from the accounts, Mr. Speaker, again you do not know which projects and programs have been requisitioned for payment. So even if you have that IFMIS document, but you do not know what the county governments had requisitioned, then you do not have two documents to compare. Mr. Speaker, also it's important that also there's a way that the projects and programs that have been requisitioned for payment, that information is there, so that together or side by side with the IFMIS report, we can be able to ascertain that why is this project was requisitioned for payment, but finally it has not been paid for. And the culprit that the Senator Cherargei was talking about is called voiding of payments, that the county government can request for payment of a particular program, and then they end up paying another program. The payment is voided, and that is the main culprit in the escalation of pending bills, Mr. Speaker. So I really want to request, maybe if it is possible, maybe through other motions or processes, that those reports, the requisition reports, can also be available, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, during audits, according to Article 229, Mr. Speaker, there are also documents that would be important for senators to access, especially the management letter, Mr. Speaker. When the audit is done, or the initial audit is done by the external auditors from the Office of the Auditor General, at times they point to malfeasance in the counties. But then the problem is sometimes they are managed, and in the final certificate, the issues that were flagged by the auditor do not appear. Mr. Speaker, sometimes it would be important for the senators to access that initial report, the management letter or the draft reports, because Kenya being what it is, I want to believe that sometimes the management letter is managed by the management, and the final report does not reflect the actual malfeasance in the counties, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, this is a very important motion that would ensure that our counties or the oversight role of the senators is enhanced, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would want to say that if finally we get these IFMIS reports, I would be able to assist our people who have not been paid, Mr. Speaker, or have not accessed their funds, but that money already was provided for payment, Mr. Speaker. So I would want to say that this is a very important motion that all of us, Mr. Speaker, should support. And we have noted in this motion that as a result of unchecked financial information and systems, county governments have continued to accumulate pending bills resulting from unplanned expenditures, unaccounted for, and inflated cost of projects, Mr. Speaker. So I would like to really end it here, Mr. Speaker, but really note that governments and senators must be provided with this information, Honorable Speaker. I would want to end it here and say that I support this motion.
Well, Senator Wakoli.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa mimi nidondoe hoja zangu kwa lugha ya Kiswahili kwa sababu Wakenya, Mheshimiwa Spika, wanaposikiza lugha hii ya Kiingereza hawaelewi kwamba ni mfumo ambao unahakikisha kwamba pesa zinalipwa na zinalipwa baada ya kufanya makadirio na serikali za kaunti. Mheshimiwa Spika, naunga mkono mapendekezo yaliyoletwa na mheshimiwa kutoka gatuzi la Busia, seneta mwenzangu Mheshimiwa Okiya Omtata. Langu ni kwamba Mheshimiwa Spika, kule mashinani na jinsi tumezungumza katika kamati ya utekelezaji na kuratibu mipango ya Senate, ni kwamba yale ambayo tunaona kwenye magazeti na kwenye vitabu tunavyovibukua Mheshimiwa Spika, vingine si haswa jinsi vinavyoonekana kwenye vitabu. Na ninaunga mkono kwa sababu iwapo tutaona jinsi fedha zilivyotolewa na kulipa wanakandarasi na kulipa serikali ya kaunti na kuwalipa watendakazi ama wafanyakazi wa kaunti, itawezesha wao kuwajibika na sisi kuhakikisha kwamba kile tunachoona ni kile kilicho mashinani. Mheshimiwa Spika, Mheshimiwa Mwaruma ametaja kwamba katika magatuzi yetu, Mheshimiwa Spika, ni jambo la kusikitisha kwamba miradi ambayo ilianza mwaka 2014 mpaka sasa kuna miradi haijakamilika, na miradi hii iliratibiwa kwenye bajeti za kaunti, na kaunti haiwezi weka kwenye bajeti miradi ambayo haiwezi kukamilisha. Na tunafahamu fika kwamba mfumo huu wa IFMIS lazima walipokuwa naomba pesa za kulipa, kuna mtu lazima awajibike. So huu mfumo ambao Mheshimiwa Okiya anadai na naomba kwamba tuweze kupata nakala, itatuwezesha na wale ambao wanafanya katika ofisi zetu katika kitengo cha kubukua, kuchunguza na kutia msasa, waweze vile vile kwenda mashinani, wadi kwa wadi, kijiji kwa kijiji, pale ambapo waliweka mipangilio hii, kuthibitisha kwamba mradi upo ama haupo, umetekelezwa vyema ama hapana, ama ni mradi gushi na pesa zimelipwa. Mapendekezo yetu Mheshimiwa Spika yataweza kuhakikisha baadhi ya kamati ambazo tunaongoza ama sisi ni wanachama kuzuru maeneo haya pia na kuthibitisha na kuandika mapendekezo ambayo hayatawezesha sisi kuwa kama wale ambao wanataka kufufua waliowafu. Mimi naomba wenzangu maseneta tuunge mkono pendekezo hili ili tuweze kuhakikisha kwamba ugatuzi unafanya kazi jinsi ilivyotakikana. Mheshimiwa Spika, wenzangu wametaja kwamba kuna baadhi ya wafanyakazi wale ambao wanafanya na Auditor General katika nchi ya Kenya, wanapozuru maeneo yetu na wanapoandika ripoti hizi, hata sisi tuna wafanyakazi katika ofisi zetu ambao wanapaswa kuenda sambamba na wafanyakazi hawa katika magatuzi, ili ripoti wanayoandika isiwe tu ya kisiri ambayo inabaki Nairobi, lakini pia wafanyakazi wetu waweze kutupa nakala hizi ili tuweze kuhakikisha kila mtu anawajibika. Mheshimiwa Spika, tumeona baadhi ya magavana wakidai kwamba kuna wafanyakazi gushi ambao wanalipwa ilhali hawapo. Lakini hakuna siku kiwauliza ni wafanyakazi wangapi unao katika serikali yako ambao ni madereva, ambao ni makatibu, ambao ni maseremala, hawezi kupa orodha Mheshimiwa Spika. Lakini iwapo mfumo huu utatuonyesha kwamba fedha fulani zililipwa kwenda kulipa marupurupu ya wafanyakazi, itakuwa rahisi kufuatilia na kujua ni wafanyakazi wapi, katika sekta ipi, katika idara ipi, na iwapo kuna wafanyakazi gushi itakuwa rahisi sisi Mheshimiwa Spika kufuata na kupata ukweli. Mheshimiwa Spika, kule mashinani kuna ulaghai ambao unaendelea katika kaunti zetu ama katika magatuzi yetu. Kuna miradi ambayo ni mradi mmoja lakini unalipwa mara mbili. Kwa mfano, wanasema kwamba barabara ya kutoka Nairobi kwenda Bungoma imewekwa bilioni 3. Na baada ya muda mchache wanasema barabara kutoka Bungoma kuja Nairobi wameweka bilioni 2. Na wanatumia mfumo ambao Wakenya wengi hawaelewi. Sasa mtu mmoja analipwa mara mbili kwa gari ama kwa barabara moja. Iwapo tutapata mfumo wa IFMIS, tutaweza kuthibitisha mradi ambao unasemekana umetekelezwa katika wadi fulani, na iwapo imeonekana kila mwaka barabara hiyo hiyo inatengezwa hata kama haina kasoro, lakini utaona wanapita na matingatinga, alafu kabla wamalize pesa zimelipwa. Huu mfumo wa IFMIS utaweza kusaidia wale ambao wanadai serikali za county fedha kwa kazi walizofanya na ilhali county haiwalipi. So mimi kwa niaba ya watu wa Bungoma na Wakenya wote naunga mkono pendekezo hili, ili ninapozuru maeneo yenu nitakuwa na kile nitakachokuwa na rejelea, na iwapo nitampata yeyote ameweka mkono ama kidole kwenye kikombe cha halua cha kifedha cha watu wa Bungoma, lazima kamatwe, awajibike, na iwapo atapatikana na hatia awekwe korokoroni. Mheshimiwa Spika, ale maharagwe na chai ya mkandaa. Nashukuru. Tutanyakua mali aliyochota, lakini abaki kule akisaga meno. Nashukuru Mheshimiwa Spika.
Senator Kavidu Mudhamu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to congratulate Senator Omtata for this very important motion about the IFMIS records being brought to the senators. Mr. Speaker, we are really having big issues at the counties as elected senators because, Mr. Speaker, we depend on Auditor General's reports and control our budget to be able to pick what has not been done right or wrong at the counties. And Mr. Speaker, if we get this IFMIS report every month, as the motion has requested, it will be very easy for us to pick on the issues at the counties and follow up the issues and at least prevent a lot of damages being done to the counties. Mr. Speaker, when you go to many of the counties, you find a lot of stored projects, starting with Machakos County. A lot of stored projects from 2013 to date, which has not been completed, and those are taxpayers' monies that are lying there with at the stored projects. Mr. Speaker, the same with the pending bills. You'll find that we have a lot of pending bills in all the counties, not only in Machakos, but in Machakos we have pending bills of more than 5.5 billion. Mr. Speaker, these pending bills originates from the first governor of Machakos. He left pending bills of more than 3 billion. And right now we have also increased with the current governor. Mr. Speaker, with this IFMIS report on monthly basis, we'll be able to follow up what projects has been given to who and how many projects has been paid, because there's a tendency of giving people tenders and then they pay with the same money others who have not given. And that is why we have a lot of pending bills in the counties. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this report will really help us do our oversight according to Article 96. And then you'll find the public participation. And the people at the ward level, give them the projects that they want done in their wards. But the next time they go, they will be given the same projects. So you wonder, what is the meaning of the public participation? If you will go do public participation, the ward people tell you what they need in their ward, and then you don't implement it, and you go back again asking them the same questions, projects, and yet monies are being used. We are fighting for devolution. We are releasing a lot of monies to the counties, and we are not seeing what this money is doing. So, Mr. Speaker, I really support this motion, and I request every senator to support this motion so that we can know as early as every month what is happening with the money that we take to the counties. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I support.
Good. Senator Mutinda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I rise to support this motion by the senator from Busia County, Senator Okia. Mr. Speaker, this motion really, first of all, it really helps us as the Committee of Finance and Budget. Our mandate is very vast. We have the responsibility on matters finance, and especially on pending bills, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, our committee where I serve interacts very highly with the Minister for Finance, Auditor of Budget, and all these different stakeholders, Mr. Speaker. The motion that has been presented by Senator Kio, which I highly support, Mr. Speaker, is really, really going to help us as a House from a bigger perspective, because normally what happens in the different committees, when a matter is brought up and delegated to a specific committee, a report is finally tabled depending on how the committee did its findings. But you realize, Mr. Speaker, as much as the committee has tabled that particular report, at times few members really are keen to get to know what is this report about, what did the committee conclude. But with a proposal by the senator indicating that each and every senator, and that is a total of 67 senators in the Republic of Kenya, to be able to be provided with the IFMIS reports, Mr. Speaker, it is going to maximally help in achieving the oversight responsibilities that is vested in each and every senator of the Republic of Kenya, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this issue of, or this proposal by the senator ensuring that these reports are accessible, it's not about any political issues or wrangles in place, because I've seen a lot of governors whereby when their respective elected senator brings up an issue, it's always looked at as political. They forget that one of our key roles is oversight, and it is the responsibility of that particular senator to be able to ensure that they do the oversight role. But when that happens, you find that issues arise. But when these reports will be fully accessible, everyone or every senator will be able to see the reports of even other counties. They can be able to reference with other counties. I'll give an example. When we went to the county of Vihiga to do the oversight as finance committee on the monies for FLOCA, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, what we found in Vihiga County was progress. Good job that has been done as far as the FLOCA funds were concerned. But the neighboring county, that is the county of Kisumu, Mr. Speaker, a county that is led and its leadership is by professors, Mr. Speaker, it was a shock. It looked like people in a different, completely different worlds, Mr. Speaker, as far as these funds were concerned. So when these reports will be tabled and accessed fully by all the senators, Mr. Speaker, we can be able to reference the same way I'm referencing between Vihiga County and Kisumu County, Mr. Speaker. Access to the IFMIS reports, Mr. Speaker, will ensure maximum accountability, transparency and effective oversight by all senators, Mr. Speaker, because we will be dealing with factual data. The issues where we'll be seeing even some Kenyans coming out criticizing that particular funds have been allocated to a specific project. Some of those allegations have been untrue, some have been true, but the reports have not really been what should be, Mr. Speaker. But with the access of this information, Mr. Speaker, it will also be able to help the senators speak out to what has been allocated to Project A or Project B. And that will be able to help the citizens whom we represent to be able to share correct information as the funds are concerned, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the motion talks about monthly reporting through the clerk of the Senate, Mr. Speaker. Monthly reporting of these reports will ensure timely financial information to all the senators. And this will help us be able to bring out the facts for each and every county, Mr. Speaker. The issue of the pending bill, Mr. Speaker, is an issue that is across all counties, Mr. Speaker. With this particular information on table, we will be able to embark fully on what is the issue. Have the suppliers who were in the system previously been paid? What does the report say? Were their companies listed for payment? If not, what happened, what transpired? There will be specific questions to specific answers to specific questions, Mr. Speaker. How resources have also been utilized, Mr. Speaker, by the different counties. These reports will be able to highlight how these budgets have been put in place. And I give an example, like today we had the county of Tana River visiting our committee, or attending to the invite that we had done. And when we are looking at the issues of the county headquarters, Mr. Speaker, Tana River being one of them that benefited among the 5 counties, Mr. Speaker, you realize, Mr. Speaker, there was a 385 million that the county assembly had put aside for construction. And all that they need to put aside, Mr. Speaker, is funds or monies for recurrent expenditure, Mr. Speaker. So these are some of the things that, without that knowledge, then the Senator of Tana River will not be aware that 385 billion has been set aside and approved by the County Assembly of Tana River to be able to do construction, which is not their mandate, Mr. Speaker. There will be definitely there'll be identification of any irregularities and delays that has been in place within these counties as far as projects are concerned, Mr. Speaker. Then, Mr. Speaker, we have other stakeholders that when the committees or even a particular senator looks at the reports, they'll be now in a better position to see what to recommend to the different stakeholders. Case example, the EACC, the Office of the ODP, and action is taken, because sometimes Kenyans do ask us, when you realize that this happened, what did you do? Mr. Speaker, our mandate allows us to do what we call recommendation to the other authorities who have the powers to be able to prosecute the matters that have been identified, Mr. Speaker. And so what I'll be able to conclude and say is that let all the offices provided by the Senate clerk, all the 67 offices, be able to access and have all these reports produced or tabled to all the senators, so that collectively we can be able to ensure that all these budgets, the audit reports, are accessible, and at the same time we are able to look at them deeply. I've had an opportunity, Mr. Speaker, when I served in the County Investments Committee, we were able to grill governors and matters audit. The other committee that I serve as the vice chair, I have an opportunity, but you can imagine when that cuts across to all the other 66 senators, then it becomes a plus to each and every senator to be able to ensure that oversight is fair. So that, Speaker, because you come from the county of Meru, when you arise and speak on a matter that affects the great county of Meru, Mr. Speaker, it will not just be your matter. We will have access and we will have looked at what are these issues that have been, the senator of that particular county has raised, and how should they be addressed for the benefit, because we represent the Republic of Kenya. The only difference is that we come from specific counties, but the representation is for the Republic of Kenya. So with those and many few, I really do support this motion, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Boni Korale Daktari.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you. Mr. Speaker, I also rise not only to support this very important motion, but also to congratulate the Senator of Busia for this forward thinking. But before I do so, Mr. Speaker, allow me to thank the people of Trans Nzoia County and Bungoma County for the warm reception that they gave us over the weekend when we visited them to talk about matters of oversight and management of state resources. This was during the Linda Mwanainji rallies, Mr. Speaker. My first point, Mr. Speaker, is that Kenyans listening to us, some of them don't know what we are talking about. We are saying IFMIS. They're wondering what this animal called IFMIS that is being talked about in Parliament. Allow me therefore, Mr. Speaker, to very briefly tell them that what IFMIS means is a real-time monitoring of income collection and the expenditure that is done in real-time basis, so that the capacity of Parliament to oversight, Mr. Speaker, can be enhanced. It means in full integrated finance management system. It's a pity that internationally, IFMIS is supposed to capture both income and expenditure. But Mr. Speaker, unfortunately in this country, we are more keen on knowing the expenditure without capturing and recording the income, Mr. Speaker. So what does this bill intend to achieve? We want, using this law, Mr. Speaker, to make oversight that is better than what we are doing currently, because when you wait for the report of the Auditor General, some of those reports come 3 years late, 2 years late. But with IFMIS, we will have real-time monitoring and therefore oversight. What is more is that when you are not waiting for 3 years before you make a pronouncement as Parliament, or you make intervention as the area senator, as the county senator, or the area member of Parliament, then both income and expenditure in the county treasury is not transparent. Mr. Speaker, I therefore laud the senator, because at the end of the day, IFMIS unifies budgeting with, Mr. Speaker, treasury operations, and finally with revenue management. Once you have this, Mr. Speaker, it then makes it easy for you to be a better oversighting chief over the financial transactions that are taking place within the county treasury. I'm glad that I'm speaking on this matter after my sister has returned to the house. My younger sister, Catherine Momo, I'm happy that you owned up, that your advice was sought by nominated Senator Catherine when she was attempting to amend this motion. Allow me to allay your fears. I could hear from your intervention that your fears are that if the reports go to the elected senators, then the nominated senators will not enjoy full access. Maybe. But there are two avenues that the Constitution allows you. And I don't know, because I'm not addressing you, I'm addressing the country. Let me refer you to 35 of the Constitution of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, quote unquote, Article 35 of the Constitution of Kenya states as follows: that every citizen has the right to access information held by the state, and that information held by another person and required for the exercise or protection of any right or fundamental freedom. And two, every person has the right to the correction or deletion of untrue, misleading information that affects that person. And finally, that the state shall publish and publicize any important information affecting the nation. So, Senator Catherine Muma, the fact that this information has been channeled to the senator of Kakamega.
Senator Boni, why are you referring to Senator Muma?
I had explained, probably your mind was not connected. I'm referring to her because she owned the intellectual property about the amendment that was made by nominated Senator Wakwabubi. So I was just responding to the remarks she made at that time because it's during debate. So my sister Catherine Muma, you can see that the information that will come to me through this effort by the motion, Article 35 still allows you either to come to me directly or to go to the county government or the county treasury and access the same information. It takes nothing away from you. Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir.
Are you interested to be informed?
Oh, certainly. I would not refuse to be informed by Sister Catherine.
Proceed.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for allowing me to inform Senator Khalwale. I wish to inform Senator Khalwale that my intervention was not about individual senators looking. My intervention was about the oversight role of the Senate. And Honorable Speaker, I'd like to refer the Honorable Senator to Article 96, which talks about the Senate. It gives functions to the Senate and then proceeds in 98 to define who the Senate is. So my point was that Senator Omtata has made moved an excellent motion for greater transparency in providing information around the IFMIS, and he indicated in the motion it is for purposes of oversight. My reminder was that that oversight is a collective role of all the senators. So if the motion is indicating that the information only goes to 47, then it actually locks out a portion of the Senate as defined in the Constitution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm happy to be...
Just a minute. Just a minute. I give some guidance. Honorable Senators, you know we resolved in this House on the 11th of February. This motion that we have is time-bound for 3 hours. And according to its timing, should end at 17:31 hours. But then I can't see the mover here because he should get his 15 minutes to reply. So I want you to spend 2-3 minutes to clear, then I'll give an opportunity to the 2 senators queuing here, at least to take 5 minutes each, and then we conclude this motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand guided, but I also know that your direction does not take away my right under rules of debate to debate full-time. But because of your respect...
For 15 minutes.
Yes, because of your respect, Mr. Speaker, I stand guided.
Actually, you are now at the 70th minute.
I have?
7
minutes. I'll squeeze through. I compress within a short time. Mr. Speaker, I appreciate the intervention by Senator Catherine, and I'm so informed. We will do further discussion about it behind the tent. Finally, Mr. Speaker, going to specific projects in counties. This thing is God-sent. You go to a county like Kakamega, we have hundreds of million shillings that were released by the county assembly so that the governor of Kakamega could pay for the road from Lumakanda to Pan Paper. The money has been released. It has been voided. The contractor has not been paid. He has left site after doing only a small distance of 2.5 something kilometers to the gate of the deputy governor. Similarly, the road from Bulimbo, Harambe, to go all the way across to Kaunga. Again, money has been released in hundreds of millions. The contractor has not been paid. He has left the site, Mr. Speaker, and only 3 kilometers have been done to the gate of the governor. If we had this kind of facility, I would not be leaving it to MCS alone. I would not be waiting for 3 years after the Auditor General has prepared. I would intervene early so that this wastage, not only of time, but denying people an opportunity to access services, both through the contractor who was not paid and the public not making use of the intended project, would have, Mr. Speaker, have been avoided. Mr. Speaker, the people of Kakamega should know that this motion will help me to push their governor so that currently the road for which over 400 million shillings was released from Mumiasi town in Mwiboma all the way up to Matawa, that was intended to go up to Indangalasia, I would have tracked it. But the governor of Kakamega, instead, he avoids this money. We are afraid, Mr. Speaker, that this money is what we see in the so-called empowerment rallies, where millions of shillings are being wasted to meaningless programs that do not match the budget of the County Assembly of Kakamega, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, finally, but not least, I want to thank Senator Catherine. You have no idea how an elder brother gets proud of a younger sister when the effort starts showing. This is the way to go. There are a lot of people in Nairobi who have come to do parliamentary work, but instead who have become businessmen, joining others to steal from public coffers. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Sige.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senator Okia Omtata is one of the most dedicated members of Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights Committee of the Senate, which I chair, and I must appreciate him for the good work that he's doing in that committee. Besides that, Mr. Speaker, the motion that Senator Okia Omtata has filed before this House, and which we are currently debating, is a timely motion. Mr. Speaker, being a public interest litigator, and of course, by extension, a great supporter for that matter of devolution, Senator Omtata has done more than what all of us would have done in bringing this particular motion. And Mr. Speaker, the reason is what everyone has said. We are expected to strengthen devolution. We are expected to support our county governments. And we are expected to ensure that governance of all our county governments and the resources that we distribute from this House and allocate to our respective counties are utilized for the purpose that they are supposed to. But, Mr. Speaker, of course, without data, without information, and without statistics on how that resource is being utilized, we find that most of our county governments, Mr. Speaker, have abused and corrupted the resources which were meant to do certain public projects, serve the people, and improve the livelihoods as it was envisaged by the drafters of the Constitution that introduced devolution. And so I want to appreciate Senator Omtata for this timely motion, and also for extending the motion to make reference to the litigation and the pronouncements that the various courts and matters which he has prosecuted before courts have pronounced themselves in protecting devolution.
Are you a talented artist? Or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with your music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream. All for free. Studio Mashinani, Radani Talent.
On it, DJ pull up the vibe, getting fun. Feeling my stance, feeling my flow. A girl from Wooded, they buying, ready to go on the club.
Hello, hello, nimekuja na tangazo.
Hapo tu. Bra 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 staki kusikia. Hii ni moto.